Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our webinar. Let's just give another minute for the rest of the people to join in. We'll be starting in exactly 1 minute. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for waiting. We can get started with our webinars. So once again, good morning and thanks for joining. This is the first webinar in our COVID-19 expert webinar series. Today's webinar, we're going to talk about crisis management applications and how you can quickly build and launch such applications within your organization. My name is Abhishek. I lead the digital and AI practice here for Accurate, and I am joined with me by my colleague Aditya, who is a technical specialist on the team. So before we get started, I just wanted to give a quick introduction uh, about Accurate and who we are. So Aditya, if you can please move to the next slide. Thank you. So Accurate Software, we are an IT services company, and we've been providing enterprise services for our customers for the last 14 plus years now. We have been working with hundreds of customers worldwide and delivering solutions on the Microsoft stack, on Microsoft 365, Office 365, and SharePoint. We have also been doing a lot of work on artificial intelligence and machine learning, leveraging the power of the Azure stack for various digital agents and assistants, as well as delivered several analytics and BI solutions for our customers. So as a part of today's webinar, we are going to be focusing on scenarios around building crisis management and applications using the Power Platform stack. So our focus, next slide, please. Thank you. Our focus is to accelerate our customers' digital transformation journey, leveraging AI. And so in terms of the tech focus that we have is primarily around the Microsoft stack. And as a part of this, we've built several packaged solutions as well as accelerators that can be used to quickly build and deploy these applications for our customers. And we leverage our various processes in terms of agile as well as the making use of Azure DevOps to deliver these solutions. So we have several accelerators that we have built and several solutions that we provide. For example, enterprise bots, content and collaboration solutions, various forecasting and data warehouse and visualization solutions, as well as solutions around robotic process automation, migrations, modernization, and so on. Next slide. So the topic of our webinar today is on essential apps. So let's take a look at what essential apps are. So what we have done here at Accurate is as a response to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have built several applications, and one of the things that we wanted to do was maybe have a quick poll here to ask you if you have, if you are using any crisis management application in your organization today. Okay, we are just going to give a few minutes so that everybody can quickly vote. Thank you for your votes. Thank you for your votes, very helpful. So the way we define essential apps are, essential apps are basically a combination of quick applications, digital assistants, dashboards, as well as several vertical specific applications and vertical specific solutions. So as a part of the essential apps, what we're going to cover in today's webinar is primarily around crisis communication, and to showcase to you how we have quickly built and launched crisis communication applications in a matter of weeks, which have helped, us, which we have used it internally within Accurate to help our employees, as well as at the same time, also launched it for several of our customers as well. Okay. In this webinar series, we will be covering the other aspects around essential apps as well. So for example, workplace management, digital assistants, several vertical specific applications, and so on. Okay. So moving on, let's move on to the next slide, please, Aditya. Okay, thank you. So some of the challenges that we have seen during this COVID-19 crisis, as you can see here on this slide, are things around operational continuity, tracking the well-being of employees, because a lot of us are working remotely now, and so that becomes an important aspect of being able to keep a track of, where employees are. Grievance handling, especially when it comes to IT and HR issues, it's very important for an organization to be able to ensure that any kind of employee grievances can be handled effectively, as most employees are remote, and so are the support functions, be it from HR or IT as well. And finally, around employee collaboration. So these are the four challenges that we see as a part of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has gripped all of us. And what I would like to do is maybe take another quick 30 seconds and ask a quick question here for you as a part of the poll. So if you can kindly take a few minutes and answer, that'll be great. So the question is remote working creating a need for upscaling your service desks, especially for IT and HR? You can choose, okay, it's just for IT or for both, or if you feel that your current service desk is able to handle it, then you can go for the last choice. So thank you for your responses. We can move on to the next slide. In order to take care of these challenges and overcome these challenges, we have made use of Microsoft Power Platform. And by making use of the Microsoft Power Platform, we have been able to quickly build and launch several apps to help, with of uh, various aspects of the crisis management, within our enterprise. So let's take a quick look at what we have done with the Power App Suite. Um, we have used the Power App Suite to build and launch a series of applications called AccuSafe, and we'll be very quickly seeing a demo of that, wherein we have used it to automate several business processes and link them to our existing systems. So these include, collecting information from our employees, at the same time being able to push out organizational news, as well as any emergency updates to the rest of our employees. We have been able to make it available on the device of our employee's choice. As it's a Power App, we have it available on Microsoft Teams, as well as on web browsers or on their mobile apps, etc. And that has provided a quick means for us to be able to reach out to our employees wherever they are, and for them to be able to reach out to us here, from the administration section. So I just wanted to launch another quick uh, poll here, just to see if you feel that you have a similar need to be able to quickly launch any new apps or workflows to cater to such kind of a situation for your employee engagement. You can choose whether you're looking at some new kinds of forms or workflows or dashboards or others. If you can quickly take a moment and help us with some of these answers, it'll be very helpful. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your words. So with that, what I would like to do is, very quickly showcase to you what we have as a part of AccuSafe, which is essentially the crisis management suite of applications. If we go to the next slide, this is just a quick preview to showcase, how an employee's end user experience of this application looks like. And there are various features here, for example, emergency details, travel plan. There's also an AI-powered chatbot called Chrisma, which is able to answer all kinds of questions related to various policies as well as related to COVID. Next slide, please. We also have additional features. For example, in case if the employee needs help, or in case if they have been put under, let's say, tested positive for COVID or put under quarantine, etc., the employee will be able to share all those details and all the information and data that is getting captured via these applications and these various options that are available here is made available via several dashboards, which is accessible by the HR team as well as the management team of the organization. Okay, so with that, I would like to hand it over to Aditya, who will quickly show us a demo of the application and showcase how this can be used by the end employees, as well as how an administrator or someone from the HR or IT team can come in and manage, view the various dashboards and manage all of the data. Aditya?
Yes, thank you, Abhishek. Thank you so much. So I'll be sharing the first thing I wanted to showcase is the employee module that we have from the crisis management app suite. So I hope everyone can see the app screen pretty clearly. So this is similar to what we just showcased earlier from an end user experience. So as you can see, we have a couple of modules over here. We have the AI powered chatbot. We have the emergency details. So let me go and daily health check. So let me go over each module to cover exactly what use do they add on, right? So first thing is the emergency details. So the whole idea for having this whole emergency details is so that every employee, we maintain the organization gets to maintain a track of their emergency details, and this is synced with your Azure directory, Active Directory. So you can see my manager name is being filled up over here, and with my current address as well. So you can also add an emergency contact, their phone number, and the kind of connection at home. So you might be having a really poor internet connection at home, or you might be working from somewhere, maybe your hostel or a hotel room. Maybe you're not at home, so you can configure all of them and submit. So this creates record with the HR and the admin, who can anytime just get in touch with you, either through email or through your emergency contacts, right? So this is the first piece of the module, and then you have another very need of the hour piece, so which is the daily health checkup. This piece primarily focuses on a concept where, since everyone's embracing this whole thing, that's the whole scenario that's happening now. So we would have to have introduced something like a daily health check, where every employee who goes and they track their log in their health status on a regular basis. So I could say no, and have I contact with anyone? No. This will also help the company do a bit of their own contact tracing, so where they can easily find out who lives in which vicinity, and where are they situated in around the office. So I can say, okay, so I'm suffering from headache, fever, right? So I can give a fever temperature, maybe in Fahrenheit or Celsius, right? Did I go to the check the symptoms? Yes. Hospital results, and are you quarantined? Yes, I've been quarantined, and I can just pick a date. So just a disclaimer: whatever we are showing right now is completely customizable. So you will be able to completely customize the fields, change the look and feel of the application, and yeah. So my regular work isn't affected. Reasons, right? No. So this record again is being submitted to the company's admin, where they have a record of every employee that's submitting their health records, right? So this is the daily health check module. So the next block that we have as a part of the app is the travel plan, right? So this was put into effect where if anyone is planning due to, maybe could be field sales, or it could be some personal personal requirements, right? So they can just say, yes, I have a very urgent need to travel, and you can say it's personal or official, choose the country, right? Right, the city, and you can also choose the dates you're planning to travel, right? And can also add comments for the same. So this again will be sent to the employee's line manager and admin, so everyone's notified. Okay, so there is an employee who is planning to travel, and we would have to take into account that he's going to be traveling on a personal note, right? Again, all these settings and the questions that you see here, everything can be configured by the admin, so they can choose what questions to go out. Right. So next we have the SOS module, or I need help module. So this is a must-have module that we feel. So which is basically, it kind of brings in your element of your service desk, your ticketing into one place, right? So where you want to raise an immediate SOS, you can raise the ticket. So for example, you might be using ServiceNow or Remedy or other ticketing tools like Jira as well. So we could integrate to that, and you can just choose the ticketing issue, the department, for example, right? And attach a file, and you can hit submit, and the ticket gets automatically created. So this is more of an SOS, I need help scenario. So one screen you can manage all the tickets that's being raised, right? The next piece is the share your work location. So this is where the employee will share whether he be is working from. Just give it a moment. Right. So the employee will be sharing whether he's working from home, from office, or maybe he has some field sales activity that he cannot, omit, or he has to go to the manufacturing plant, right? So you have these three options where you can just go onto the application, easily configure the dates that you would be planning to come to office, right? So maybe I would be planning to go to office tomorrow, so I can just choose the date and arrange where I'm planning to go, right? And then I can just hit submit. So once I do submit it, it again, the request goes to my line manager, as well as an approval gets sent so that they can approve my, if I'm going to be working from office based on the health factors that I have already logged inside the application, right? So all these modules work hand in hand. So each is interlinked with each other. So the next important thing and the most simplest of all is your company news, where you can easily configure your intranet or any kind of knowledge sharing platform where you want to communicate all the news to your your maybe to your employees, right? Immediate news notifications and alerts. So you can so you can easily, this is a screen where you can see all the alerts. Right. Now again, the same goes for FAQ. So you have a screen dedicated where a module dedicated where you can configure all the frequently asked questions. Usually in this, in this could be the pandemic related ones, or could be, operational continuity related topics, right? Could be things like as simple as setting up a VPN to things about, escalation metric, etc. Right? So you could add these questions, configure them in the application, so the users can just go in easily and just check the question and the relevant answer, right, instead of typing it anywhere. So they can easily just find out. So this is the FAQ page. So like, for example, how do I raise a new service request? How long do I continue to work from home? So these are a couple of questions that we have already added as a part of FAQ, right? So then we have the emergency contacts. So what we have done here is, if you have, if the bigger the organization, so you can have it synced up with your, Active Directory location, right? So based on your location, we can just push out the closest emergency contacts, be it your IT department, be it your facilities department, right? Your final escalations, your IT, or maybe your pantry, right? Or you're going back to office, you feel the PPEs are not in place, for example, sanitizers, you can just go to the facilities and raise a escalation request. So all your emergency contacts and any workflow logics can be easily added to, to configure your emergency contacts as well. Now, finally, the final piece is just a simple one, which is basically sharing all the important links that an employee would ideally refer to. Could be knowledge links, could be references, could be LMS articles, or could be even relevant links during, pandemic outage, or some government-related links or RSS feeds. So you can give all those links over here and configure them as well. So the final piece is the Charisma chatbot. So I'll just quickly showcase that. So since so this is the application layouts, as Abhishek had mentioned earlier. So this is completely device agnostic. So you can easily deploy it as a standalone application, as you see here, for a mobile interface, or could be a tablet like an iPad overview. Or you can also put, if you already use MS Teams in organization, you can easily I hope you can see my screen. So you can easily configure it as a part of your Teams channel, as you see here. So you can easily configure it over here, and you can also put it on the site as a dedicated application, so where each employee can get access to, right? Right. So as a part of the next piece I wanted to quickly cover is the the Power Virtual Agents, so that the Charisma that we have. So we have used the Power Platform's Power Virtual Agents to configure the chatbot. So it's basically a very simple AI-powered chatbot which covers all the FAQs that a user would primarily have. And you can also go ahead the next step and also configure ways for that the user can easily connect to a human being as well right after the conversation. So the the possibilities are endless over here. So you can configure these basic questions, saying, I have a bad internet, what should I do? Right, you can also directly type in the questions rather than choosing it. So this chatbot as well, you can deploy it in every channel. You can deploy it in Teams, as a web chat maybe, or you have an intranet page, you want to put it as a web chat or as a standalone website like this, or as I mentioned earlier, within Teams. So you can also put it as a tab within Teams. So maybe like what I've done here, I've added every module of the communication application as a part of my Teams channel. Yes. So again, the possibilities of adding it is again endless. So you can choose depending on your organization needs, right? So this is it from an employee standpoint. So we are adding more apps as as we go. So we're adding more applications like office space management and ticket creations in terms of uh, right, and more applications we are adding every day. So we'll keep everyone posted regarding our updates. So this is the second piece of our module, which is the admin aspect of the crisis app. So this would be the application that an admin or HR or could be even a manager would have access to, where they use this particular application to set, to configure what you had just seen in the employee assistant portal. So let me first off start off with the admin settings. So you could right ahead, choose the kind of notification method you require. So maybe a personal email notification or just a push notification or a personal Teams notification. So you can choose that, you can configure. You can choose which modules should be switched on, which modules should be switched off, and you can control the whole, the UI aspect or the module aspect that the end user is seeing, right? Again, just to reiterate, everything is completely customizable. You wish to have more control, you wish to have more customizable options, we can easily go ahead and add those bits in the admin settings. The same thing, we could check out the FAQs. So this place is where the person, the IT or HR or anyone can easily go configure a new FAQ. So they can just go add the title, the rank, the answer, and it can hit save. So once they do that, the FAQ will be available for the end user to have a look, right? So we've made sure that everything that you see in the employee module is completely configurable by the admin. So the admin has the whole power to check and also add things like helpful tips, company news, company contacts. So they can pretty much configure everything that you see in the application, including creating new contacts, adding very scenario specific links, right? And we also have the employee details. So this is like a handbook where all the data from every employee that's registering include so details from their AD and all their details from where they live. Are they living at home or a hotel? The kind of internet connection they have. Do they have any kind of health symptoms in the past 2 3 months? So this is the kind of record that shows everything to and from an admin perspective. So yes, so now they have all these abilities, right? But how do they visualize it, or how do they send out reports to their senior managers, and to kind of have an understanding of how many people have taken leave, how many people are sick in which office? So for that, what we have done is we have integrated Power BI dashboards with our admin portal. So you can see here, this is a Power BI dashboard that we have integrated with the application. So it's a crisis app dashboard, where you will be able to have a view about, regarding all your, your employees. You can drill down by employee, by city. You can find out how many people are working from office, how many are on field, right? And how many visitors were counted each day. So you can have custom drill downs. You can drill down to, okay, between this date to this date, how many people have been working, right? So I want to know how many were on sick leave, so I can easily see that, and gives me a list immediately. Okay, so these are the people that's there, on a sick leave, right? So immediately it helps the admin to quickly generate a report, uh, right? And you can see your present status. You can also drill down here further. So how many people have done a business visit versus, right? So you can see here, there's one person from Glasgow, one person from Trenton, and you can drill down further by using, the city name. So again, the drill down capabilities are endless. You can also have an ability from your floor level. So if you're configuring things like, okay, so this maintaining social distancing, so you would have a 35% to 40%, attendance capacity, right, on for the whole building. So you can also have a drill down. Okay, so which this location and this building has how many people logged on, or how many people have been working in that location. So you can have that level of drill down as well. So this is the Power BI portion. So absence trend. So the users will be, the admin will be able to easily generate this and export it as an Excel or a PDF, and send it to the senior management for, I think. So we've made sure that everything that's going into the application is completely visible to an admin, and it's easily the data can be easily managed, right, and can be audited. So it gives you an easy view about what's happening. So yes, so this is it from a Power BI perspective.
Thanks, Aditya. So I think this was a a good demo, a good overview of all the features which are there within the application. Thanks for that. Um, in terms of what you just saw, in order to build and launch an application of this sort, we are not really talking about a long drawn out project cycle or duration, as these are built on top of the Microsoft Power Platform. These applications can be quickly built and launched in a matter of days or weeks. So what we at Activate have done is we have created it in the form of a configurable accelerator. This means that you can go from zero to go live in a matter of just 1 to a max of 2 weeks. Any integrations that you would need with your existing applications like Workday or Remedy, etc., those can also be quickly put in with the help of various connectors that are available as a part of the Microsoft Power Automate platform, or even advanced connectors by leveraging Microsoft Azure logic apps or functions and so on. So the whole idea behind launching such an app is, we can never be always ready and prepared for the kind of pandemic that we are, that the world is undergoing right now. And so, in response to this scenario, our ability to react quickly is very important. And so, we have been able to do that by leveraging existing platforms that are available, as a part of the Microsoft stack. So moving on, a couple of the other applications that we will be covering up in our upcoming webinars uh, are going to be around virtual agents for 24 by 7 support. So we're going to be talking about IT virtual assistants as well as HR. We are also going to talk about the new normal and what do we do in order to maintain the required steps that are necessary. Once things start returning back to normal. So, for example, employee collaboration, um, management of your office real estate or work area, etc., social distancing, and so on. So we'll show you what are some of the apps that we are building in this space, and how you can also, quickly you leverage similar apps or build such apps. Next slide. We are also going to be talking about how we can leverage data and analytics and what's the role that they play in terms of being able to provide all the information that we need at our fingertips, which can help us in uh, improving the efficiency of the various measures and steps that we have to put in, we as an organization have to put in place for in the new normal. Either even you have seen an example of how we are leveraging this as a part of the response to the pandemic. We'll also see examples of how what we are doing in order to use this information in the new normal or in a post COVID scenario as well. So with that, that brings us to the end of the webinar. I hope you found it useful. We'll also be sharing, quick survey at the end, which will have a few more questions, and we do hope that you will take the time out. But we will probably take another 5 to 10 minutes. If there are any questions, if anyone has, you can please use the raise hand option, or you can just type in your question as a part of the chat, and we will, try and answer your questions here. So if there are any questions, please feel free to post those questions. We'll probably spend another 5 minutes on this. And while you're bringing up the questions, just wanted to also say that if you're interested in trying out any of these apps, please feel free to send us an email. Do register for our upcoming webinars. You have all the information on our website, and that'll be really helpful for us as well if you can help participate in our upcoming webinars. Okay, so we have our first question here. So the question is, we use ServiceNow for tracking HR requests. Can we integrate with it? So Aditya, do you want to take that question? The question is about, can they use ServiceNow
Right.
can they integrate with ServiceNow? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Abhishek. Yes. So we use ServiceNow for tracking HR requests. Can we integrate with it? Yep. So yes. The answer is yes. You will be able to easily integrate, ServiceNow as your, for that matter, any IT ticketing tools, IT or HR ticketing tools. Since we have a very, simplified workflow management in the background, you can easily just configure what tool you're using. So we support a wide variety of platforms, from ServiceNow to Workday, Remedy to Jira, and you can yeah. So the configuration is pretty easy. So we'll be able to easily integrate and send out notifications and requests.
Okay, thanks, Aditya. There's another question which has come in, which says that are there any domain-specific apps? Yeah.
So basically, all our essential apps, the whole idea of us, bringing forward this essential apps is keeping a complete enterprise in mind, right? But we've also gone ahead and created dedicated apps, that would help those specific domains like retail, government, oil and gas manufacturing. So those apps are completely suited for those domain-specific, organizations.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. There's one more question, and probably this will be the last question that we will take on this webinar. And if there are more questions, we'll probably be reaching out to you on a one-on-one basis. But the last question is, we are using Power Apps today. Can we deploy these apps ourselves?
Yes. So what we could do is you can easily deploy the chatbot on your own. So what Accurate will do is we will provide you this whole suite that you just saw as a whole package, where we will help you with customizing and any code changes that are there. We'll help you out with that, and you can go ahead and deploy it on your own. So yes, so you don't have to be dependent in terms of deployments.
Okay, that's great. So thanks so much everyone for your questions and also for your time today. So we hope to see you in our next webinar, and thank you so much for engaging with us, and everyone stay home and stay safe. Thank you. Thanks, Aditya. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, everyone.